One of the best things a woman can tell you is that, hey, you meet all the requirements of being a husband. Yeah, you got a good job, you got money, you squared away and all that stuff, but your mindset is jacked up. That's what's wrong with you. You just don't want to do certain things. Bingo. That means that you have healthy masculinity and healthy self esteem. And you don't want to get on her plan as an obedient ATM or one of these dudes walking around holding their wives' bottles of water in their purse. She can't train you to be a, you know, these egalitarian men. Especially, you see a lot of them in our community and on many other communities itself. Dudes that have basically got their balls clipped, put in the jar with some pickle juice, and hidden behind the peas and rice somewhere. Them dudes be like, you call them and say, yo, you coming out? Yo, we gonna hang out or whatever? No, man, I gotta talk to the wife. I gotta talk to the wife. They always gotta talk to the old lady. Not that men shouldn't be respectful and say, look, I'm going to the gym to go hang out with the fellas for a minute. I'll be back. Just let people know where you at or just doing certain things. But you just operate in your masculinity as a man. They cannot control you. And for most modern women that were raised to be these strong and independent women, not be under the leadership of men, they see men the same way the males are seen in the hyena kingdom. Subservient, submissive, simp husband serving their women. They always talk about it among their girlfriends about how they need to train a man to spend money, train a man to serve them. They even think men should be cooking for them and serving them because that's what they've been taught through feminism, especially in the Black community. They go brag to the girlfriend. Oh, you see what my husband did with me today? He took me shopping. He spent money on me. He took me on vacation. He cooked my meal. Girl, he rubbed my feet when he come home. Basically, they want a bitch ass simp. So when they say you're husband material, that means they got somebody that is a obedient ATM who they can train to serve them. Maybe they get you some marital missionary once or twice a month. And trust me, you're not the guy that makes them wet. Because the guy that they wanted to get, most of the guys are usually in their friend zones. Like the guy no, he's not in their friend zone. I'm sorry, my apology. The guy who they want is that rogue dude that comes over at 11 at night and pounds them out. That's who they want. They can't get him. So they have to settle for a safe, bill-paying man that basically is an obedient ATM. Maybe they give him marital missionary once a month, but he has to compensate by spending all types of money. He's got to go full Boyce Watkins on her ass where he worships the ground she walks on. And he's just basically her bitch. And most of those women end up leaving those men after a while because they've been imprinted. They're alpha widows. They've been imprinted by masculine men. And sooner or later, the thirst always wins. And they get back out here to be trying to get these great divorces and get back out here on these streets because they remember that guy on the basketball team, as you can see back there, that pounded them out back in the day. And all of a sudden, she got to deal with that guy down there, and she's unhappy and miserable in her marriage because she's been imprinted on by certain types of men because she's a modern woman, and they're just not raised that way. Period. I mean, it's just the way it is. And the other thing, let's pivot to this real man bullshit, because you know why it's bullshit. Everything they talk about in being a real man, it only benefits individuals or people or society or anything outside of that man. It's never about real man watches his diet and keeps his A1C low. Real man works hard and becomes successful so he can retire early and live a great life on the beach. Real man, it's always shame about everything that benefits them. Nothing that benefits you. And your ass is nothing more than a disposable tampon, especially for these shing leftover women. They're in the church. What do you think they're praying for? An obedient ATM. Half of them, their box has been blown out. It's like a whole phase reset. And then for these old women talking about 100% provider man, That's why a lot of dudes be going out like Bill Belichick and Uncle Earl. They be like, hell no, I'm not paying no 100% no bills for no old ass woman. She's got a dude that will do it, but she probably still got her body tight a little bit, even though she's had kids and Mook Mook and Day Day and Daquan and whatever else has smacked her that ass from the back, whatever, for years. But she wants a certain guy that is in that percentage of men that she's still attracted to, but she wants him to be obedient like the simp in her friend zone, telling her how beautiful she is. She want that dude that she wants to be trained like the obedient simp and obey her or serve her. So she wants everything on her terms, but she can't get that guy. And her delusion thinks that because she had sex with that guy when she was 25, that's who she wants, that's who she deserves, and that's who imprinted her. So she's always thirsting for that guy. So a lot of them many times would rather, they will hold out for as long as they can until they just don't have no other options, and then they gotta go marry old Rufus, like Boyce Watkins, Rufus type dude. And that's what they end up doing. But that dude gets miserable. He has to basically walk and worship the ground that she walks on. Don't fall for that bullshit, man. Like I said, like who like you. Deal with the women that like you. Travel and do whatever you have to do. Enjoy your life. But don't sign your life on to one of these women who have miraculously found Jesus and goes to church, and then all of a sudden she's just religious, trying to religious some guy into a marriage that she would not even touch when she was 23 years old. And now you're in that misery, and nobody's going to feel sorry for your ass. You'll be in there getting a sexless marriage, running around like a fool, working your ass to death, trying to take her on vacations and satisfy a woman that would never touch you with a 10-foot pole if it wasn't for the fact that you were an obedient ATM. And that's what a lot of girls get caught up in, that shit. And guys like me just like, man, I don't care what the women think. At the end, they'll say, well, peaceful life. You old, bald-headed, whatever. Don't you get lonely? Damn that. As long as there's money in my bank account, I ain't never lonely. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you right now. Loneliness is just horniness turned upside down. I ain't never seen no man with no empty balls that's lonely. And there's something wrong with him mentally. He just don't like himself. He got low self-esteem and no purpose out here in this world. He got nothing else going on in his life. Or he has some mental issues or mental defect. You just don't like yourself. And that's why I say men should be focused on their purpose, their hobbies, self-preservation. Get up, go to the gym, eat well, take care of yourself. Work on your self-esteem. Fall in love with your own company. Protect your peace. Nobody takes care of you like you. What is that fucking lonely? Never mind. Let me stop cursing. I promise I would stop cursing. That's my New Year's resolution, is to stop cursing. I'm trying, folks. I'm trying, okay? But it's hard to take this shit serious sometimes, man, because it's really, the problem with men is adaptation. You got to adapt to the real freaking world and stop living in the 1940s. These women out here don't like your ass unless you find that 5% women that, adores you or whatever else. But most of these women just looking for some sponsorship. And like I said, that's why I be telling the guy, I'd rather live alone by myself and pay 100% of my bills than to have you come in here and pay 50%. So you're going to have to pay 100% for blown out vagina? You're a fool. Who's going to pay 100% for a woman that's not traditional, that's not feminine, let's be a feminist all her life? You're a freaking fool if you do that shit. Make her ass play bills. It should be depreciated. I'll tell you what. I knock off 10% for every body you have. How about that? How many men you slept with? Well, shit, you might owe me money. If that's the case, well, you're not a virgin. Well, I'm an old, I know I'm not. I'm an old ass dude that's been married and had kids. I ain't charging no brand new virgin prices. Hey, look, peaceful life is very, very agreeable, in terms of compromise and understanding value, But at the end of the day, everybody paying, virgin price for this. See, this is the problem with our culture. These women in, like, say, China would be Xingyu, which is code for leftover women. They would go down to the marriage market down there in China. Hey, them old mas or those old women would chase them out of there. Get out of here, you old. Never mind. I ain't going to go and. I love the ladies. I'm not going to insult them. Them old ladies will be like, what the hell? You ain't marrying my son. You're not getting in my family. You too old. You can't cut the mustard, like Uncle Earl would say. They wouldn't do that because we have in a soft, gynocentric environment. We allow certain things to happen. And some dudes are just soft simp, weak dudes that will take anything. Focus on the women that like you. This is why I don't have any problems with most of these women, because I focus on the women that like me. And if I ain't with a woman that likes me, really adores me for me, I'm going out like Uncle Earl or Bill Belichick. F you, your religion, or what you think. You don't know whether I'm a Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, or whatever the hell. Your religion is your damn business. I play to win. I don't care what you think. You can leave your comments down below and call me a degenerate all you want. I don't care. I think men need to be born again hard, born again unapologetically masculine, because nobody cares about your ass. Why would you care what people think about the moves you make to make you a winner when they don't give a rat's ass? You couldn't borrow no money from them. You need to borrow $10,000 today. Can you borrow from them? No. F their opinion. Can't borrow $1 from them. So if I can't borrow no money from you, what am I talking to you? What I care about what you think about how I live my life. And that's the problem with men. You see, people try to hold you to these value systems. That's what it's like. The church. You know a whole bunch of 304. You know, if you're a Gen X dude, you see them on your Facebook page singing that golf. You remember what they used to do back in the day? They get you in there and they say, well, Jesus has forgiven me for my sins. What's your problem? Have you over there married up with or hugged up with some retired 304. And then you out here wondering why you on antidepressants, your house is miserable. She started thirsting, whatever. The pastor can't even keep it in the pants. So what the hell are you going to talk to me about the church for? It's like become a sanctuary for retired 304s searching for an egalitarian simp to pay their bills, 100% of their bills, man-shaming you to be a real man when they ain't nothing, when they're nothing compared to a woman 200 years ago. There ain't nothing feminine about them, ain't nothing submissive about them, and it ain't nothing pure about those boxes that they're trying to give you. You are a fool if you're going to pay 100% of the bills. Look, I'm a reasonable man. If you say 50%, 75%, you start with a conversation. Maybe I'm listening, but that's about it. You know what I mean? You might get my ear like, and that's what that's just all these single old women. They're trying to get these people to pay their bills. I'm like, you old like me. Where's your money at? Why haven't you have any money? Didn't you divorce your husband or rape your husband in court? Where's that money you stole from him? Didn't you put it in an investment? No, you probably spent it on hair, makeup, and weaves and vacation. You probably broke. They're looking for somebody to pay their debt. That's what guys don't realize. They're not looking for no love, no newfound love. Old like me looking for love? You're crazy. You think some old ass woman? No, she's looking for a sponsorship. She's already kidnapped her kid, probably if she has boys, to be her son husband and whatever else. Now, the thing what's missing is the money. Maybe she has credit card debt, car loan debt. Maybe she needs somebody to help put that roof on her house or whatever else. And that is you. So anyhow, gentlemen, get up this morning, get to the gym, eat good, take care of your health. Again, level up for you so that you can live a good life. You notice I said that? It's about you, not about becoming better for women, because all of us are connoisseurs of used box. Even me, I'm 6'7" tall. The only difference between me and you is I can reach further down the trash can to get that burger that's only been licked once, or maybe 5 times. Let's be honest, 10 times maybe. You may have to get the burger, be a shorter arm. Maybe you say, Peaceful Life, reach me the burger that's further down. It only have 20 maggots on it, because these ones at the top have about 120 on them. And I'll reach you. I say, look here, man, no problem. Because we're all eating out of the same trash can. Ain't none of us is better than the other. Bullshit. All these guys with high value. No, you're just reach the burger further down the trash can. Because I would be considered a high value man. That goofy, stupid shit that women use to divide men from each other. Really, high value should be about men's competence and their value in the world of men, not about the ability to attract women, and especially used box. There's low self-esteem, goofy shit out here these dudes be creating in these content creation space. I want to be a high value man so I can get more used box. Fools. You just reaching further down the trash can. That's all. Because that's what sexual liberation do. What, 70% of the women, 7% of the women a certain age is virgins or whatever? They did the statistic. It's such a low. Everybody has been experienced sexual liberation out here in this world anyhow. That's why when I did the Andrew Wilson CGA thing, man, get the hell out of here. These women ain't buying that bullshit. This ain't the 1920s up in this piece. And even then, there was still some debauchery going on. Again, we're not bringing back the past. You got to live life the way it is, man, and find purpose in this life, real life. You know, not this made up fantasy world that everybody wants to live in. Again, these women out here just hustling for a simp. A simp that maybe they can tolerate to their friends, and maybe with the money, they can tolerate sleeping with. Like, okay, he's not that disgusting. Maybe he's got money, and, I can, take him around and go, yeah, girl, he buys me this and he buys me that. They don't like that dude. Mook ain't got none of that shit. And he still smashed the same box you getting. You're a fool. This high value shit is a fool. That dude was, in her mind, that guy on SSI was high value because he was attractive to her. He probably has some ripped abs and everything else. That's who she likes. She just likes, women don't change their taste in men, they change their taste in lifestyle. So you're just a sucker that she's going to get to commit to a long-term relationship after everybody else have pounded. That's the worst thing a woman can say. The next man, to a man, the next man's gonna be my husband. Well, shit, what is the next man getting that the men before him didn't get? What reward? You've already given away all your youth and your value to the man before you. What are you gonna get? He's getting used box, period. So what's there to celebrate? There's nothing to celebrate. You know what? Men need to get back on the invention thing and the science and the math and celebrating. Nothing makes me want to vomit more than a guy saying, oh, look at me. I get all these women. I'm the masculine man. Yeah, look at me. Yeah. I'm 6'7" like a peaceful life. Look at him. He reached further down the trash can. You're a bunch of fucking simp-ass, bitch-ass dude celebrating used box. Get a life. You guys disgust me. Stop celebrating achieving getting used box. Most of these women are selling box. They're prostitutes. Stop it. Get a life. Get some self-esteem, man. You're crazy celebrating used box. I don't care what level you are. Whether you're making millions a year or you're making 50,000, 40,000 a year. You're all consuming used box. Get your head out of your ass. Stop all this stupid high value goofy shit. Sexual liberation destroyed all of that shit. That's it. We all connoisseurs of used box. Like I said, maybe you can reach the burger that has 10 maggots on it, and the other guy has to get the burger that has 120 maggots on it. But either way, you're eating a maggoty old burger. Wash it down with something good to drink, because that's the reality of the modern dating and relationship market. Anyhow, guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll continue on with this content. It's time for me to go to the gym. I got to get my self-improvement done. I'm running behind a little late today. The market's open at 9:30. Try and make me some money. That's what I like, making money and peace. I live alone. Look how quiet and beautiful it is here. Yes, I'm a very much uneligible bachelor, even though I'm retired at 51. I love being an uneligible bachelor. Ladies, I'm disgusting. You don't want nothing to do with me. That's what you got to realize. You want them to look at you and be like, ugh, horrible. A piece of life is disgusting. And that's what I like. Then they'll find somebody else, a nice, good retirement plan somewhere else, because, and like I said, it ain't me. I ain't the guy. With that being said, I'm definitely the guy you want to subscribe to. if you want to maintain your balls and you don't want them floating in a jar and hidden in the cabinet behind the peas and rice, then you got to ask her to take it out. I'm out. Guys, talk to you soon. Gym time. Make sure you guys are working out, man. Don't come up here. Never mind. I'm not going to go into that. Don't tell me about, anyway, no excuses. Hit the like button. I'm out.